Malachi, my messenger. The short book, which brings what they call the Old Testament to a close in the traditional arrangement, was not, as most readers of the Bible suppose, written by a prophet named Malachi. The word Malachi, meaning messenger, in this case, the anticipated messenger of the covenant. Our Messiah refers to the subject, not the author of the brief series of discourses that make up the book. In them is followed the rabbinical method of question and answer, which appears so prominently in the writings of the Apostle Paul. The intuitive inspiration of the genuine prophets has finally been replaced in the book of Malachi by the rationalizing attitude characteristic of latter times, so that, though the theme is still derived from prophecy, the manner of presentation is now of a wholly different school. Now, one of the things about this, though, is that the really traditional order, where you have 24 books, Malachi is not the end. What is it, Second Chronicles? But isn't Chronicles like one book? There's only 24, so how do they break all that up? But Malachi, my messenger, the messenger of the covenant. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And God is noun and verb, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith God as noun and verb, Lord of hosts. There's a way of thinking about this, and passages like chapter 7, verse 60 of the Bhagavad Gita, in that basically God's omnipresent to begin with, but God's made known through messengers that are sent when the situation arises that there's a collapse in the knowledge of the real religion, the real social order, whatever you want to call it. Religion's a system of judgment. It's not just some church or something. But who may abide in the day that is coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap, and he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto God as noun and verb an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Yehuda and Jerusalem be pleasant unto God as noun and verb, as in the days of old, as in the former years. And see, when they talk about the former years, see, they're not talking about something new. They're talking about, oh, well, it's like God has left us. It's like, well, the favor of God's left him. It's just a way of speaking. Like even in Egypt, when they talk about Yemen and Ra and some of the others, they talk about them sometimes like they're omnipresent. And it's like, well, then they don't leave just because you're no longer under their favor. But then they use that phrase. So, I mean, there is some contradiction in some places, but you don't necessarily always have to see a contradiction with that, because it's a way of speaking. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those who oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith God as noun and verb of hosts. For I am God as noun and verb, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed, even from the days of your fathers. Ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith God as noun and verb of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But say ye, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings? We are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes unto the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith God as noun and verb of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith God as noun and verb of hosts, and all the nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith God as noun and verb of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, saith God as noun and verb. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve God as noun and verb. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before God as noun and verb of hosts? And now we call the proudly happy, yea, they that work wickedness are set up, yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Now, in a way, the whole Ganesh encompasses that aspect, right? And Ganesh, you don't have to think of Ganesh as some elephant god. It goes beyond that. And just like Yahweh, you don't have to think of Yahweh as some tribal entity or some sky father or something like that. It goes beyond the literality of such things. Then they that feared God as noun and verb spoke often one to another, and God as noun and verb hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared God as noun and verb, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith God as noun and verb of host, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith God as noun and verb of host, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing. Son with a U, by the way, in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith God as noun and verb of hosts. Remember ye the law of Masha, my servant. You know, the actual law of Moses, not necessarily the various interpretations and interpolations and all that, right? But my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb. Horeb Yamku, like the ancient Egyptian place, but with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Adayahu, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of God is noun and verb, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. And I'm seeing all this stuff in the news for past building up to 2020 in particular, but trying to get people to hate their children and their parents for some fake cause, really. It was a real cause 60 years ago, but yeah, it's that your family, those you associate with, whether you oppose what they believe or do or not, you're ultimately working for them when you want reform, right? But yeah, you want to be on the side of your family, but not favoring injustice or ignorance or something.